We are back! And it's been a very long time. I don't even remember what the last episode was.
You have done one before I did.
I did a solo.
The last one I did was like Halloween when we did Kramer Tunnel.
Oh, yeah.
That was in October, right?
Yeah. I think we released the episode in November. Well, whatever. You can go back and look.
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know what's going on. It's been a long time. It is now March 21st. Confirmed. It's March 21st.
Nice.
It is currently 48 degrees and sunny-ish.
Beautiful outside.
Beautiful.
Very beautiful outside.
And we are going to go chasing waterfalls today because this is a rather early start to, but not too early because I have, thank goodness for Facebook memories. I would never remember when things happen, like in the timeline from year to year. On March 24th last year, I drove down to Duluth to drop off. We had a housekeeper that was actually from Puerto Rico. And when they shut everything down, she decided to just go home because she didn't want to get stuck here and not able to go home. So she made the decision to fly home. So I drove her to the airport. And on the way back, I stopped at Gooseberry. And the waterfall was just starting to open up. Like you could see some water, but it was like solid ice on the front. And then you could see the water flowing underneath it. So it wasn't quite the start of waterfall season, but this has been a weird year.
Yeah, I think we just didn't get enough snow.
No, we never had that big epic snowfall.
Yeah, we didn't. We had like little snow here or there, like nothing too bad. But then it would always get warm. Mm-hmm. And then a lot of it would melt. So like we just didn't accumulate enough snow this year.
So it's not going to be the big epic waterfall season that we had last year. Last year in January, we had, I think it was 18 inches in one snowfall. And it happened, the only reason I remember this is because the next day we were supposed to leave for our Disney trip.
Oh, yeah, Yeah, you guys got a little screwed up, didn't you?
We got stuck. We could, we don't have a plow, but we have a really long driveway. It's supposed to be, it's not even technically our driveway. It's an actual public road that leads to a cemetery. But during the winter, they don't plow the road to the cemetery, so nobody ever goes there, but they're still supposed to plow up to our house as part of a, easement agreement, but we don't bother calling and they don't come anymore, so we just kind of do it ourselves. And that we had a snowblower and it was broken, so we were trying to shovel our way out, and we I think I put something on Facebook, like, somebody please help us, we're supposed to leave for Disney. We're actually going to go to the cities a day early, and then we're leaving the next morning for Disney. I'm like, we need to get out of here. Somebody help us. And we got almost to the bottom of the driveway. And then Ray Berglund showed up with his plow.
Really?
Like, right. And then just comes and plows the whole thing in like 2 minutes. And we were like sweating. And we'd broken a shovel already. And we were trying, like, it was just ridiculous. And then in 2 minutes, him and his plow cleared us out. But that really set the snowfall base for last year, and since we didn't get that this year, there really wasn't much of a base. So when it got warm, it just melted. Mm-hmm. And then we got a little bit more.
It's just muddy.
Yeah,
it's just muddy everywhere.
It's the longest mud season. We did get a little bit of snow. Was it 2 weeks ago? Like maybe an inch and a half. It was supposed to be this really.
It was a few inches, but like the ground was warm enough that basically all the roads melted instantly, and it was just like the stuff that was on the grass.
And then it melted, for us at least. We're down by the lake, my house is, and it melted by the next day. I remember waking up in the morning like, oh, we have snow again. And then in the afternoon, I looked out my window.
Half of it was gone.
And yeah.
And then the next day, it was like it never even happened.
Well, that was fun. Super. So anyway, waterfall season starts usually end of March, early April, depending on when you get the warm days, how much snow you get. And it's basically the snowfall from the inland area melting, flowing into the streams, and then the waterfalls unfreezing from the winter freeze, and just crazy amounts of water are just gushing down these waterfalls. And there are legit people out there who are waterfall chasers.
It's like the fall colors.
Exactly. Except for me, I think waterfall season's a little bit harder because you don't see them. Fall colors you see.
Yeah, like you really have to go out of your way to like go see a waterfall. Unless it's like the ones that are on the side of the road.
Which those do exist. So as you're driving especially between Lutsen, really
Grand
Cascade State Park and Grand Marais, there's like 10 of them. And they're pretty big. And they only flow for a couple of weeks in April, maybe late March. And then they're gone until the next year. If there's a really heavy rainfall, they will flow for a couple of hours, but then, maybe a day. Yeah. And then they stop. But it's this time of the year. We did notice a couple of them driving down, and I didn't notice them when I did this drive on Thursday. So this is it. I think we had 50-degree days already. It's almost 50 degrees right now. Like I said, 48. And we're gonna go chase some waterfalls for this episode of Exploring the North Shore. So I'm Jaye.
And I'm Martha.
And this is Chasing Waterfalls with Exploring the North Shore. This podcast episode is sponsored by Cascade Vacation Rentals. They know that life has a tendency to be overwhelming at times, and busy schedules often leave people feeling overwhelmed and disconnected. That's why they're here, to offer you the space and opportunity to reconnect to what's important. Cascade Vacation Rentals has one of the largest selections of privately owned vacation rental homes and cabins on Minnesota's North Shore of Lake Superior, from Duluth to the Canadian border. Their team is there to help you and your family or small group enjoy a vacation you'll remember for years to come. Visit them online at www.cascadevacationrentals.com. And don't forget to use promo code PODCAST. Again, that's www.cascadevacationrentals.com. All right, first stop on our Chasing Waterfalls episode, we are at Cascade State Park.
I've never been here.
That is crazy to me.
Driven by it a lot.
Because this is your commute between, well, it used to be your commute.
Thank God it's not anymore. Let me tell
COVID.
You.
I will say one upside for COVID has been the ability to just work wherever you are.
Yeah. Except I've started some very bad habits of I just roll out of bed and start work. And I don't brush
shower.
My teeth or I don't shower. I just grab my coffee and I start working, and then it's noon and I'm I should probably go brush my teeth now. If I want to go get a snack quick.
Yeah. And I mean, things have been, I feel like they almost got back to normal, almost, in a way, and then got crazy again.
Yeah, it goes through phases.
Yeah.
Especially here, like I said, Grand Marais Cook County is its own little special
We're a
bubble here where we have no cases for a few weeks, and then all of a sudden we have 10. And then I feel oh, okay. It's time to stop going to the gas station. No more going to get dinner.
Chill out at home for a couple weeks.
You relax a little bit, and then that happens, and you feel oh crap, okay. So I relax too much.
I feel we should explain why we didn't have an episode for so long, and it wasn't. So what happened with us was my mother-in-law moved in with us in January, or was she here for Christmas? She was here for Christmas. Yeah, she moved in. That's why, in November. It must have been sometime in November, because that's when we stopped seeing each other.
Yeah. Yep.
So my mother-in-law moved in with us. She doesn't have a thyroid. She has a few other health issues, so is pretty high risk. So we basically shut down.
Yeah, we stopped game night. Yep. We did it virtual for a while, but it's not the same. It's not the same. So yeah.
You were always, because my house,
40 full seconds behind. So
it was 8
video
seconds.
Chat each other, and they would laugh, and then I would laugh, and then they would laugh. And then I would laugh.
No, it was 8 seconds, because I remember counting it. We'd laugh about something. I'd be 1, 2, 3, 4,
wait for me
5, 6, 7, 8, and then all of a sudden Martha would start cracking up on her end.
Oh.
So it got to be a little difficult, so we stopped doing most of our fun stuff.
Shenanigans.
But now, things are progressing in life. My mother-in-law is fully vaccinated, fully vaccinated as in both doses of, I think she got Moderna, plus 2.5 weeks of letting it kick in. Mm-hmm. So anyway, now we're kind of getting back into normal. I'm not as worried about my mother-in-law. My kids are going to go back to school next week, and they're so excited. So things are getting back to normal. So we thought, you know what, let's get out there, let's do an episode. And I really wanted to bring you a waterfall episode because I missed doing it last year because COVID. So let's get it done this year. And I really quickly, I want you to look to your left and observe this person who's wearing shorts, a very, very cool...
Crocs too. Crocs
oh my
and socks,
gosh. Crocs
shorts,
and socks.
And a winter hat.
Crocs and socks, shorts, and a red, yellow, and orange winter hat. That's...
Only in Minnesota.
I love that.
Only in Minnesota.
I just love that he's wearing shorts.
It's a really great outfit.
And they're short shorts too. They're not like long shorts where they could be like with those cargo short type. No, these are shorts.
No, these are shorts.
Mad respect for that dude.
Fashion.
I like it with the hat, the shorts and the hat. That is the most Minnesotan thing ever.
Oh god.
We're both wearing our boots today because it is
Muddy.
going to be so muddy.
I was gonna do chacos, but I really don't want to be picking mud from between my toes.
And like it'll be like embedded in your toenails.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty muddy. We are going to take the short hike to the waterfall at Cascade State Park, and we'll be back to tell you all about how magnificent it is. See you in a minute. Well, it's right there already.
Oh, this is muddy.
It's very muddy. We've been walking for like 30 seconds. Would have been shorter if it wasn't pure ice at the beginning. And oh, I'm having so many 2020 flashbacks right now. During like the crazy closure where literally nothing was ever open.
Yeah.
We just drive around and find a video to do every day for TikTok.
Oh yeah, like the waterfall of the day or like your daily dose of North Shore.
Yep. And I remember coming here and it was so icy. And this was like...
Oh, this
was like April, mid-April. I'll have to look back at the date. I'm pretty sure it was April and not March anymore. And there was definitely more snow. Oh, that I've never seen it look like this before. This is really cool.
Is it bad that like I just want to kick it? Like, do you know what I mean?
We like
the snow
like, under the car.
Yes.
It looks like there's a cave, which
right?
we obviously have to describe this because you can't see. Although I will take pictures because it's really cool. It's still frozen on the top, but it's completely wide open on the bottom, and the water is just rushing under it. And then it goes into another frozen area and comes out into like a pool, and then it freezes again, and then it opens, and then it freezes, and then it opens. But it's cool because it looks like it's flowing with into and out of a cave.
Kind of how like Devil's Kettle is.
Yeah.
Where it goes like into that spot.
Yeah. Like it mysteriously disappears and then it supposedly reappears. Who knows? I still don't buy the whole Devil's Kettle theory. I do, but until it's proven to me.
You'd think they would have some sort of cool technology by now to like
figure it out. Well, you can go back and listen to the Devil's Kettle episode. That was summer of 2019. So head back to the beginning, the Joe days.
Oh, Joe. Oh, those are pre-Martha days.
Pre-Martha days. Oh, that was the last episode I did. It was Joe's book.
Oh, yeah.
Dang. Got there. We got there. So we only walked, what? A minute. Yeah, a block. Minute and a half.
What I would call the block.
It was a little treacherous at one point. 2 points, actually.
It's like during the worst inclines.
Yeah.
It's icy.
You know, it'd be really fun to like sit down and just slide down it. But you'd get dirty.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna take some pictures of this. But if you are looking for a waterfall that is not a long hike at all, you just want to see a really cool waterfall, I would say probably by next weekend, this will be wide open. Maybe.
If we have more consistent warm days.
Mm-hmm. A lot of it is shaded, which is why it's still frozen, and that's why it stays frozen longer. But as soon as it gets hit by sun and it warms up, it will melt. So if you're planning a trip up, I would plan it before April 15th. Nope, that's a Thursday. April 18th. And to really get the full feel. And the water isn't crazy gushing, but it is heavier than I've seen it during like the middle of summer.
Yeah.
And you can probably hear it in the background. Hold on, I'm gonna aim the camera in that. All right, that probably did.
It almost sounds just like really strong wind. Like if you don't look at the waterfall and look away.
Oh yeah, like
It
a
just-
constant gush.
Yeah.
Or breeze, wind, gust.
Can you tell it's been a while?
I talk to kids more than I talk to adults.
I talk to my cat and then talk to people during our meetings, and that's it.
Yeah.
Or I talk to myself or Alexa. Alexa likes to listen in every once in a
Did
while.
you have a conversation with Alexa?
Oh yeah.
Like full on, and she'll go back and forth with you for a while? Yeah, I did
mostly
that.
just tell her to tell me a joke.
Any good ones?
No.
Oh.
No, she's not very funny.
So this isn't it for Cascade State Park. We are going to go look at maybe... Oh, it's icy up that way too, but we're going to try. We're going to see where we go to. But if you are looking for a super easy access, you park off the side of the hallway. You
Words.
just park off the side of the highway right as you pass through Highway 61. At one point past Lutzen before Grand Marais, it slows down to 40. Park in one of the two parking lots on either side of the highway there. You'll see it. You cannot miss it. Get out of your car, start walking up less than a block later, and you will see this amazing waterfall. But there's a couple of other cool waterfalls, and we're going to go check out to see what their status is right now, and we'll come back once we get there. I have to record us getting there, but this is pure ice right here, and I don't want to record myself on my butt. Okay, I'm sad that I didn't record when we both initially saw this waterfall, but my reaction was, oh, and yours was,
I think it was like, wow.
so this one is this is the cascading waterfalls that are up above. We are currently on the Lookout Mountain Trail Bridge, if you're familiar with Cascade State Park. And if you can hear, I'm sure you can hear it now. In fact, there you go. It's gushing. It is, and it's coming down on one side because the other side's still frozen, but the side that gets more sun is open, and it's like bashing up against the rock wall next to it, making quite a lot of noise. Beautiful sight. And you had an observation.
Oh yeah, I said that it reminds me of like in the old movies when they would open the fire hydrants for like people to play with, just like the forcefulness of the water coming out of this waterfall just makes me think of that.
So this one is probably going to open quicker because it is sunnier up here. Oh, did you see that ice piece that just broke away? Pretty cool. Ice is already starting to break away, so you might only have a week left on the upper falls, but that will just open things up more for the lower falls to get more water. But it's pretty cool. I will take pictures and videos, so you will have a chance to see it if you can't come up here and see it yourself, but you really should try because it's a different way to experience the North Shore. And we were just saying that even though the parking lot looked really full down by the highway, once we got in here, we've only seen 2 people.
Yeah, it's surprisingly not busy in the park as you would expect, seeing how many cars are out there.
So we saw like one guy doing pictures of the waterfall. Oh no, we have 2 more people. Like literally as I'm saying that, 2 more people show up. But one lady looking at the lower fall, somebody kind of midway between where we are in the lower falls taking pictures. And that's been it before this couple showed up here. All right, I'm gonna take some pictures and videos, and then we are going to come back. Next time you'll hear us, we will be at Temperance River State Park. Exploring the North Shore is sponsored by The Big Lake. The Big Lake is an approachable art gallery and gift shop located in the beautiful harbor town of Grand Marais, Minnesota, as well as online at thebigLakeLife.com. The Big Lake provides a beautifully curated and fun shopping experience to complement your North Shore adventures with artists and products that reflect the culture, values, allure, and lifestyle of the North Shore. Shop online at www.thebigLakeLife.com and use promo code EXPLORE for 15% off your first online order. There is such a thing as snow mold, and
Really?
I'm super allergic to it, so this is the time of year my allergies like go
Get the
nuts,
worst.
which is why I brought my inhaler.
No dying. I don't know if I'm a certified lifeguard anymore.
Can you even give somebody CPR during COVID? Is that allowed? I feel like an
Ooh.
emergency situation, you still can.
Ooh.
So this random conversation brought to you by us looking at what looks like moldy snow,
ice.
moldy
Yeah.
ice. So we're now at Temperance River State Park. We decided to head away from the lake to start into the hidden falls in the gorge area. And I realized, despite the fact having spent a good chunk of my childhood summers in this state park, because my friend's dad lives very, very close to it, I've never gone on the inland side of it to see the hidden falls in the gorge. And it's beautiful.
It is.
I wonder, do you see how...
It really cool in the summer once it's all melted.
Do you see how there's like almost a water line? I wonder if the water gets that high.
Oh.
Crazy.
Huh. Maybe after like a really good rain.
Yeah. So the hidden falls are, you can kind of peek it. We're leaning up against this stone archway thing. Stone archway? What is this? A stone
Looks
wall,
like there used
half
to be
wall?
A wall here.
Who
I
knows?
think they would try to continue it, and I don't get why. Maybe this is where you go to look, so they put it here.
Which is weird because I actually would have put it right there.
Yeah.
But maybe this was, there's actually nothing holding that part of rock up, so
Yeah.
maybe that's why.
We're not going to question it.
No.
I'm sure there was good reasons.
We can tell people fish here, and somebody lost their lure in the tree right over here. You can see it dangling there. And hidden inside the gorge is a half melted waterfall. Looks like the other half is still frozen. Mm-hmm. So you still have
to take a while.
Yeah, it's completely shaded. So this is really pretty. It's, I'm looking down the river. It's kind of cascading downward. I also really need to correct an earlier statement we made on the person with the shorts and the person with the shorts and the fancy hat. It's actually a woman because they're here. We ran into them again.
Yeah.
But this time we actually walked past him and didn't just see him from the car. It's a woman, so I apologize for calling you a man earlier. I wasn't paying that much attention.
You were too concentrated on the hat.
I was admiring that hat. That's a beautiful hat. So, if you want to get recognized by people, this is making me super nervous. This woman is like climbing up the side of the... That's okay though. We're gonna... So a quick... I want to give a little warning about this state park. I will do an actual episode on Temperance River State Park. In fact, we're going to do an episode on every single state park on the North Shore at some point this summer. That is in the plans. But don't go swimming at the state park. It looks really inviting. It kind of looks calm over here. There's a crazy undertow in this river, and people...
So it's like Leicester River.
Yeah. In very recent years, I want to say, I remember we used to rent through Cascade. Oh my gosh, there's another fishing lure over there. Very, very popular fishing area here, it seems. We used to rent a cabin kind of near here, and I got a call one day from our guest saying there were helicopters flying around everywhere. So I looked into it, and it turns out somebody had fallen into the river, gone under, and I think they found them a day or two later. And unfortunately, they didn't make it. And that is unfortunately not the first person who has died in the river here. Don't swim in the Temperance River. Just don't do it.
Is this...
Did you just almost fall?
There's a little step, and it steps down where my heel was. Once the rain picks up, people forget how strong and forceful it is, and they're just like, oh, the water's higher. Mm-hmm. Like, no. Nope. It's really not safe.
You don't see what's happening underneath.
The lifeguard in me doesn't let me do some things that seem really fun, because I just analyze everything, and I get in my head, and I'm like, nope, that does not seem like fun.
That's the better way to do things, actually. There's somebody coming who's a little bit older, and we're going to clear out now so she can stand here and chat. But when I was a kid, we used to swim in the Baptism River at the mouth of the baptism, which once I figured out what was further up the river, it kind of grossed me out to swim in the mouth. Further up is like a swamp with all sorts of fun things living in it. But
it's like Twin Ponds. I used to swim there as a kid. Now we drive by, or I drive by there, and I look at the water, and it's just like stagnant, and I'm like, oh, gross.
Like, how did we not get some sort of weird bacteria as kids?
Gross.
Okay, it is
back down safely.
On your butt.
I'm wearing leggings, and we have another hike to do.
Whoa, I'm almost there. Sidestepping. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm like going 1 foot at a time. Oh, and holding.
You can only go 1 foot at a time.
Oh my gosh.
Because it's like
is ice.
A sliver of.
Oh my god. Okay, now I'm realizing that the way the girl went when she climbed up the side was probably smarter. Whew. Okay. Be forewarned, if you come up here for waterfall season, while things are melting, along the waterfall, they're also melting along the trails. So what you're getting is pure freaking ice. Like at one point at Cascade, and here it's gonna happen too, I basically felt like I was skating and I was like just sliding across the ice. Okay, we're better now. It's cleared up here. Woo! That gets a little sketchy.
Yeah.
The trail sort of disappears and just opens up, but there's a sign, so I'm assuming we're in a good spot. Oh, there used to be a waterfall here.
Here?
Yeah, right here. Look. So, standing on top of an old falls, you are on the rock ledge of a dried up ancient waterfall, which spanned almost 300 feet. Look across the river gorge and downward from here, and you can see the waterfall's lava rock bed skeleton. Oh, wow.
You can really see it from up here, how it used to be wider.
That is crazy. This waterfall must have been
huge.
So we saw this girl climbing up, and what she was climbing up was the waterfall. And where we were standing, it's like a 2-phased waterfall.
Nice.
Crazy.
Oh, that's so cool.
That is really cool.
You can see where it used to. Wow.
I don't know why I've gone through this much of my life without ever having come here, considering literally I spent so much time less than a block from here. Okay, I'm going to finish reading this. Looking across the river gorge and downward from here, you can see the waterfall's lava bedrock skeleton that was once covered by a roaring curtain of glacial melt water. So where did it go when the last mile-high glacier melted water filled Lake Superior to an almost 600 feet above the present level? Whoa!
Wow.
600 feet above the present level would put my house underwater. I think.
Oh, I'm in the mud. I keep losing my balance.
Martha keeps falling. As the lake level lowered, so did the glacial river. They carried a heavy load of rock, gravel, and melt water. Glacial river flowed down into the lake. It created the gorge and the waterfall. So what we see now is the gorge and the waterfall's over there. The water just moved. And you can actually look, it says, into the bedrock. You can look for small pockets of white agates about 75 feet ahead that are still embedded in the basalt lava flow top. So we're standing atop basalt, which is a lot of the north land is basalt. So this is not unusual, but really cool. You can actually see where the waterfall used to be. Definitely check this out. So we observed a few minutes ago that it's quite a bit colder here than it was at Cascade. And I was correct. He was wearing a shirt, but it was wide open. You gotta love when springtime hits on the North Shore, even though it's only like 48, 50. We dress like it's 75.
Yeah. Heck yeah. It's like when you get a random nice day in the winter and everyone's like, no
jackets off!
Yeah, t-shirts, no jackets, no mittens, no gloves.
And then the next day it's back to being cold.
Yep.
Okay. Now we are above the waterfall. And I'm going to let you listen to it because it's, oh my gosh, we are above it.
So cool.
I'm going to take a video of this. So check that out too. It'll be in the video I post. Fun.
It's like a little pool.
Yeah. Don't swim in it. Looks like a pool, but it's not. Trust me. Oh, there is a dog.
There's two.
There's two.
What's up, dogs?
One of them is not happy. The other one's just kind of chilling. We finished up at Temperance. We only went to the lower hidden falls. We didn't go up to the high falls at Temperance.
That one was pretty treacherous.
Yeah, it was just icy.
Super icy.
We ended up finding a different path to get back to our car, and it was very muddy. And now I biffed it. And
it was so slow motion because I really thought you were going to save yourself.
I kind of rolled a little bit to the right as I was falling to catch myself, and then my plan was to push off with my right hand and just pop back up, but my foot kept sliding. So all that ended up happening was the left or the right side of my right leg is just caked in mud.
Yes.
And I did not save myself.
No, you did not.
So we're going to throw in a waterfall that you can go see without putting much effort into life. And especially this is really good if you have mobility issues, because it was, even for us, we're pretty agile-ish.
Yeah, I mean, a little less now that
COVID out of, we're COVID fit right now.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah. We'll get back to it this summer, I swear.
Yes.
But it was hard for us, and there was a woman there that was being held by her family member, a daughter maybe, older woman, had a hard time walking, so we kind of yeah.
And then you had that one girl just.
And then there was this 20-something-year-old girl that was just going right up to the edge, was making me super nervous.
And, like, I'm pretty sure she was by herself, right?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't see anybody with her.
If you're gonna be that reckless, have somebody with you. I've watched too many shows of, like, I went hiking by myself and I fell off a cliff. Now what am I supposed to do? And it's like, how they...
Just don't go hiking by yourself.
Yeah, have a partner, buddy system.
Or stay on the path if you're by yourself.
Buddy system, yeah.
This is your safety advice from exploring the North Shore.
Yes.
But there are some waterfalls that you can see without, I mean, you can see them without getting out of your car as you're driving over the bridges, but that's no fun. You want to get out, you want to walk there. There's two really that I can think of that are pretty awesome this time of year, and that's the Beaver River Falls, which is down in Beaver Bay, kind of in between Beaver Bay, Silver Bay, but a lot closer to Beaver Bay. And then the Cross River Falls, which is where we are right now. So we're going to get out of the car and just kind of give you an idea. We are parked on like the 4th non-handicap parking spot here at Cross River, across the street from the Cross River Heritage Center, which, by the way, is a very cool place if they're open. Swing in there. I don't know what their COVID life is like for Cross River, but it's a really cool place that has a lot of interesting historical information that I'm sure you would love, because our history episodes do really well. So I'm assuming you like history. We're gonna hop out now, start walking, to give you exactly an idea of how long it takes to get from, and there's puppies. Hello, puppies.
There's puppies in there, they're so cute.
They're from Mississippi. Those puppies came from a long way.
That's a far drive.
Yeah.
That's a really far drive.
So during the summer, and I don't recall if they were open this past summer because of COVID, but there are bathrooms here.
I don't think they were open. I don't know if they've reopened either.
There's a sign on it, but I'm not going to go look there. They've covered up the garbage cans with duct tape, and
They did that at, what is it, Cut Face? Is that what it's called?
yeah. And people just put their trash next to it rather than in it. Okay, so we've been walking this whole time, and we're already here. That's a car you hear. Now that's the waterfall you hear.
I've never actually stopped at this one before.
I did last year and took a really cool TikTok here, but nobody liked it. I was like, this is such a cool one. People are going to love this one. And then it just didn't go anywhere. So we're opening up here a lot. Again, the right-hand side of the river is open. The left hand is still frozen. So give it another week or two, and this place will just be crazy.
Does somebody actually live in there?
Oh, I don't know. I've never noticed that before.
How cool would it to live this close?
Yeah, that is. How would you? I guess you go up this road.
Yeah.
So there's a house right there, but I don't know if it looks like it's not in bad shape.
Yeah.
All right. So as you can hear, we're right here on Highway 61. We're like right in the town of Schroeder. The Schroeder Baking Company is right to our left.
It's now all of a sudden super busy.
There's cars everywhere. There was no cars for a long time, and now there's a bunch of cars. So this one is super easy and accessible. Now, if you want to go on a bit of an adventure, which again, we're going to do this summer when it's not so icy.
What are we doing?
There is another waterfall below where we are that you can actually... I knew that person. I'm sorry, they were waving at us. I'm like, oh, I know you. In between cars, we'll narrate this. So water in the background, you can hear it running. But below this is actually kind of like a hidden waterfall that most people don't realize is there. It's like right underneath us. And you can see it by hiking below here. There's a trail somewhere. And if you go below here, I hear it's pretty cool. I've seen pictures of it. It looks pretty cool. But what's cool about it is not many people know about it, so they don't go there.
See, that was, what is it, Fall River? where the new bridge is.
Oh yeah.
That waterfall was super secret.
And now it's not.
And now it's not. It was a super cool spot to hike down to, but now there's a bridge there and everybody knows about it.
Yep. So this is Cross River, super easy to get to, but just be aware you're going to be right up against the highway. I'm literally on a highway bridge right now, and there's cars rushing by as I'm looking at this beautiful waterfall. So again, I'm going to take some pictures, take some video, and then we're going to move on to Caribou Falls, which is right on the border of Cook County and Lake County. We're going to go to Caribou next. Stay tuned. Okay, so here we are. We are at Caribou Falls. Which
Caribou River?
Caribou River. We're at a rest area. So if you are coming in just before you hit the Cook County line, so if you're coming from Duluth, Silver Bay, basically. Duluth. Yeah, Duluth, Two Harbors, Silver Bay, you're driving up the shore just before you hit the Cook County line at mile marker 69. I was wrong with the first one. It's not 71. That's the county line. This is mile marker 69 on Highway 61. You will come to a rest area or wayside rest. It has a porta potty. What you don't know is if you go on a half-mile hike, you will hit the Caribou Falls. And I've weirdly never been there.
I've only done it because I lifeguarded for day camp because you can swim at the bottom of the falls.
I'm going to make a quick observation that I think is hilarious. Every time we've come up to one of these signs, there's always been an item on top of it. There was a mitten.
That is true.
There was actually two mittens. One had a hat, and this one has a pair of like kids' sunglasses on it.
Guys.
So if you lose your stuff in the state parks or if on a random hiking trail, just come back and look at the sign. You might find your stuff. It's like the, I don't know, hiking trail lost and found. All right, we're going to go on this half-mile hiking trail. This path does not seem nearly as bad as the other ones. It is mud.
This gets more sun consistently, which is why there's almost zero snow.
But we will see if it
gets worse.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't get worse.
We're only like 5 feet into this thing and I'm saying how nice it is, and then we're going to get into the tree cover and I'm sure it's not going to be like that.
As nice, yeah.
All right, we'll come back when we get to the falls. See you in half a mile.
Sniffling.
Woo! All right, so this is a hike, but we couldn't actually record any sound down by the actual falls because it is so loud.
Roaring.
It is definitely awake and alive. Some of it is still frozen, but
that's the best one we went to today.
Yeah,
it's worth it.
This one I would say get here within the next week.
Oh yeah,
week and a half. Lots of stairs. So there are.
Did you count them all?
I counted. So there's the first set is 69 stairs, and I was like, oh, 69 stairs. That's not that bad. And then you're like, there's more.
There's more.
Over 100. Yeah. 110 maybe.
Yeah, I'd say that sounds about right.
Woo! I am out of shape.
Yeah.
So this is not, unfortunately, a good one for somebody with mobility issues.
Yeah.
You're not going to make it.
Not with the stairs.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's gorgeous. It's a beautiful, beautiful waterfall. Definitely check out. I'm going to definitely post one of these TikToks I took here probably today as the teaser for this. Do it. It's beautiful. I've never been here, which is crazy because I literally grew up like 15 miles from here. And we never came here. As far as I can recall, we've never...
One thing I did before you did.
Yeah. But, up until like a couple of years ago, that wayside rest was not the wayside rest it is now.
Yeah.
It was just a dirt
Yeah, it wasn't
lot.
like that when I first moved up here. Oh, I'm sweating. I've got sweat on my forehead.
We worked out.
But yeah, it definitely got improved in the 3 years I've lived here.
So what's cool about this one is you kind of start approaching it from almost level with the waterfall. Yep. And then you go down beneath it and there's an open pool area right below it of water that's pretty still for being underneath a waterfall.
Yeah.
Part of it, of course, was still frozen. And the rest of the river, we're kind of halfway up the staircase now, taking a little break before we have to do the other like 45 stairs. And the water looking the other direction, which I think what am I looking south right now?
Yeah.
That feels weird. Hold on. Well, that's the lake, but I think I'm looking direction not making any sense. Siri, what direction are we currently facing? My Siri's not listening to me.
Content not available.
Probably because there's not a lot of service where we are at this moment. But anyway, you go down the steps. The stairs literally lead to the edge of the river, and you're just looking up at this massive waterfall that is just free flowing like crazy, right pretty much upon you. You're so close to it. You can't quite touch it, but it's very, very, very close. It's the closest we've actually been able to get to a waterfall today.
In the summer you can, because you can swim in the little pool at the bottom. So you can get really, really close to the waterfall in the summer.
So a great one to come visit, waterfall season. The trail stayed pretty decent. We accidentally added like an eighth of a mile onto our hike.
There's a trail that looks like a trail that's not a trail, but you could tell people probably got as far as we did every time and turned around and was like, I don't think this is right.
They're like, is this the trail? So there's a little sign, you get up to it and they're like, spur trail to the Superior Hiking Trail. So you're going to take the spur trail, then you're going to come to a boardwalk. You'll see it on your left. You'd go left onto the boardwalk, and that will lead you straight to the waterfall. It is a very short, quick hike if you don't accidentally go the wrong way first.
Yes, it's a mile total.
I'm guessing during the summer that looks less like a trail.
Yeah.
But right now, people have been walking at it, so to us, it looked like a trail.
And with the snow, it just looked very much like a trail.
So that part was a little sketchy at one point. We made the decision to turn around and go back, which was good because I think that little where you can walk along the river ended.
Yeah. And we would have been just stuck like, oh, we're supposed to be up there, but we're all the way down here.
So you're gonna go above the river, kind of loop above it. You'll be able to hear it. Like we were hearing this waterfall for like pretty much from where the trail started.
Yeah.
You could hear it.
That's how strong the waterfall is right now.
So I highly, if you only make it to one waterfall, which is crazy because some of them are super easy to get to right off the highway, but if you can only go to one, this is the one I recommend right now. And there's nobody here. We passed 2 groups.
And there were only like 3 other cars in the lot?
Yeah. It's definitely one that I don't think as many people
know about.
Yeah. So if you're chasing waterfalls along the North Shore, and if you're not currently having that song stuck in your head, you were not born in the 80s or 90s probably. There are many, many, many places you can go to see waterfalls. So pretty much every state park along the North Shore has a waterfall somewhere that you can go see. Gooseberry Falls is probably the most popular one. I believe that one is also handicap accessible, or at least there might be stairs. It's definitely easier to get to. It's a shorter hike from the parking area to get there. Tetegooch State Park has several, like the Ilgen Falls, so a little bit more of a hike, a little bit more effort. We're not going to go all the way down that way today. Then the 3 that we visited, today, are pretty good ones to go to see. Going further up the shore, it would be super interesting to go see the Devil's Kettle.
Yeah.
We didn't go there because we've already featured the Devil's Kettle on the podcast, but that one would be pretty darn cool, I think.
Yeah.
And then it'd be interesting to see which side opened up first, the kettle or the... I imagine the kettle would stay frozen longer, right?
Yeah, because the water goes straight down instead of like over the ice.
Yeah.
Like, it would stay
inside,
enclosed, kind of.
And I imagine it's probably... Does it freeze in the winter? I don't know, because...
It's like, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? The world will never know.
We won't know. I doubt we'll ever find out where that water goes. It'll remain a mystery forever. And then, of course, there's lots of littler waterfalls. And then finally, the high falls at Grand Portage State Park is probably the most popular or most photographed, I guess. Not really visited as much by people because it's way up there by the border. And, of course, the border is still closed, so you can't... If you're going to go there, that's why you're going there. There's no other reason to go that far up. But the high falls tends to be photographed a lot this time of the year, and it gets insane when the snowmelt really happens. So if you were going to do a waterfall tour, definitely go check that one out. Keep it on your list because it would be a gorgeous one to see. Definitely, the Caribou Falls here, if you thought that was amazing, the high falls is like 2 or 3 times that.
I have yet to check that one off my list.
Well, we've already done it for the podcast, so we won't do it for maybe we'll, like I said, we're going to spend a day at each of the state parks, so we will actually spend a little bit of time. You can go back to listen to a day in Grand Portage where we went to Joe and I went to the casino and then the monument and then the state park. So that was, one episode. But you can, of course, spend way more time in a state park than what we did. We just went on the short hike to the waterfall and then came back. That one is a handicap accessible waterfall in the summertime. However, the snow is not cleared off, and I don't know the snow situation there. There is no snow at all against Lake Superior, but the further inland you go, the more and more snow you get. Mm-hmm. So we're standing near the Caribou Falls, and there is open grass, but there's also then like up to my wrist in snow if I shove my hand into the snow pile, which is suddenly getting very cold. So there's snow still here a little bit inland, but as soon as you get down towards the lake, down towards Highway 61,
it's cleared out.
It's cleared out. It's all melted.
Basically, you forget there was winter.
Nope. Yeah, this was a weird winter. It went very fast, I felt. Yeah. Which is weird because I felt like last winter went so slow. Yeah. But we were also dealing with like the early stages of COVID and kind of...
all locked in our houses.
Yep. So a little bit different this year, but... get out there, explore. Being outside is good for you. And the North Shore is here. We're open. There's things to do up here. And right now, it's waterfall season. If that's your thing, take advantage because it's amazing. I guess we could wrap it up here.
We could.
We don't need to go back to the car. You can, maybe if you can hear I can never tell what the phone's actually picking up. I can hear the waterfall. Mm-hmm. Hopefully you can too because it's lovely. But this has been the Chasing Waterfalls episode of Exploring the North Shore. It's getting a lot nicer. We're interacting a lot more, seeing more people out.
Yes.
Which
trying is to nice because I live alone.
Yeah. Well, you got Cleo.
Oh, my angry cat screaming at me every day is not the same as seeing people.
She is definitely coming to the phase where she's like, why are you still here?
Yeah, why are you still here? Don't you leave? Don't you go places?
Just aren't you supposed to be doing things?
Not anymore.
No, someday soon. Maybe this summer.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have a lot more content for you coming up very soon, including new articles on the website, more TikToks on the TikTok, because I've been horribly neglecting that, along with the Instagram and Facebook page. So stay tuned for content of the North Shore coming your way very soon, including more episodes of Exploring the North Shore. So, of course, for Exploring the North Shore, I'm Jaye.
And I'm Martha.
And we will see you again very soon.